You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6.
Coming up, attempted bomb attacks across the country. We'll tell you why the FBI fears there are still more explosive devices out there today. Plus, we'll tell you about another racist robocall targeting Florida Democratic gubernatorial candidate Andrew Gillum, and why Sarasota County deputies are under scrutiny for showing up at a resident's home after they submitted a tip through what was supposed to be an anonymous app. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. Good morning, everyone. I'm Jess Daldrick. Ray Collins is off today. It is Thursday, October 25th. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's head right over to meteorologist John Scalzi, who has a look at what you can expect forecast-wise today.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty good for us today. We're looking at, again, mild temperatures this afternoon coming in at about 85 degrees. The humidity may be a little bit higher as we head into the afternoon and evening. And we'll have kind of a mix of sun and clouds. Nothing really heavy. No rain showers, I don't think, for the morning hours or even most of the afternoon hours. But later in the evening, we do have a chance at seeing some rain. An area of low pressure is beginning to develop. We're watching showers being kind of plentiful across the northern Gulf Coast. All of that gradually drifting in our direction, changing our weather for the weekend. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Thank you, John. Taking a look at first alert traffic this morning. We begin in Manatee County. We see some delays there on the right-hand side of your map, eastbound of I-75 on State Road 70. There are some delays there if you're traveling in that area. Further south in Sarasota County, nothing major to report. Some slight slowdowns if you're heading westbound over the Stickney Point Bridge. And even further south into southern Sarasota County, there is still that accident between exit 167 and 164 on I-75 southbound near Punta Gorda, so expect some delays there. It is 6:01 on your Thursday morning. Developing overnight, the FBI, Secret Service, and the ATF are all involved in a national investigation into several attempted bomb attacks with targets including former President Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and CNN. ABC's Kenneth Moten explains why investigators fear there are more explosive devices still out there.
This morning, the nationwide manhunt for the person responsible for these pipe bomb packages. The targets, former presidents, high-profile Democratic political figures, and CNN.
Projectiles. I mean, that sounds like a fire alarm here.
The network surprised on the air. Their offices in the Time Warner Center in New York City evacuated. An act of terror unfolding.
We will not let terrorism win. Not today, not ever.
Overnight, federal authorities now looking into a possible 8th suspicious package sent to former VP Joe Biden. The explosive devices and suspicious packages also sent to the homes or offices of the Clintons, the Obamas, California Representative Maxine Waters, and former Attorney General Eric Holder. That pipe bomb discovered in CNN's mailroom addressed to former CIA Director John Brennan. Several American flag stamps on the yellow package, which was carried away in a bomb containment truck. A similar pipe bomb was sent to billionaire Democratic donor George Soros Monday.
The federal government is conducting an aggressive investigation.
The targets are all outspoken critics of President Trump. He campaigned in Wisconsin calling for unity before blaming the media, which he often attacks.
The media also has a responsibility to set a civil tone and to stop the endless hostility.
The devices didn't detonate. They're being examined at an FBI lab in Virginia. Sources say they contain similar components. The same packaging and the return address was the office of former DNC chair, Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Authorities don't believe she's involved. The FBI doesn't believe those packages were delivered by the U.S. Postal Service. Experts say investigators likely have a treasure trove of forensic evidence to find a suspect. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
For the latest on this story, plus breaking news and your up-to-the-minute first alert forecast, head over to our app. You can find it, of course, in the App Store under WWSB or My Suncoast. Hundreds of students, staff, and faculty at the University of Utah gathered to remember Lauren McCluskey. McCluskey was shot and killed on campus Monday by an ex-boyfriend. She was 21 years old and was an athlete on Utah's track and field team. She was also known to be a bright and accomplished student. At the vigil, people left handwritten notes for McCluskey's family. Police say the man who killed her was later found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Happening across Florida, a white supremacist group in Idaho is behind another racist robocall targeting Andrew Gillum. Gillum is the Democratic nominee in Florida for the governor's race. The pre-recorded phone message begins with a man pretending to be the Tallahassee mayor, speaking in an offensive caricature of a black dialect. Here's just the beginning of that ad.
Well, hello there. I is the Negro Andrew Gillum, and I'll be asking you to make me governor of this here state of Florida. My esteemed opponent, who done call me monkey, is doing a lot of hollering about how expensive my plans for health care be. But he be thinking of the white man's medicine, which is very expensive because it uses science and whatnot.
Calls went out to the Florida residents over the last few weeks, but it's unclear how many voters actually received that call. President Trump is heading back to Florida for a campaign rally just days before the upcoming midterm elections. The president's campaign announcing that he will hold a rally in Fort Myers on Halloween that will likely include top Republicans from across the state. Republican gubernatorial nominee Ron DeSantis will attend the event. DeSantis won the GOP primary in August after President Trump endorsed him. It's not clear yet if Governor Rick Scott will join the president. Scott is challenging Senator Bill Nelson for his seat, but his campaign said right now Scott is focused on helping with hurricane recovery efforts in the Florida Panhandle. Happening today, Vice President Mike Pence will be in Panama City surveying damage that Hurricane Michael left behind. He will speak at an event for Ron DeSantis in Jacksonville before headlining a closed Vero Beach fundraiser for Governor Rick Scott. Here on the Suncoast, red tide has loosened its grip on our beaches in recent weeks, although it hasn't gone away quite yet. That's why Venice City officials are looking at ways to reduce the effects of red tide now and in the future. And red tide was also discussed during a joint meeting between Sarasota County and Longboat Key. The two municipalities say they are continuing to monitor the issue. They also have a draft of a state of emergency ready to submit if another bloom was to occur. Both the county and Longboat Key say they are also supporting research and ready to use grant funds if need be for cleanup and other needs from this toxic algae. The FWC's latest update shows a sharp increase in red tide off Anna Maria Island and Longboat Key, reversing the recent declines in the presence of the afflicting algae. Remember, you can find all of our red tide coverage, including answers to your most asked questions, online at our website, mysuncoast.com. Just click on Red Tide. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is under scrutiny after deputies showed up at a resident's home who submitted a tip through what's supposed to be an anonymous app. The Sarasota father and son saw this post on Facebook describing a kid walking down the street with a gun in his hand, possibly heading to school. They immediately reported it through the Fortify Florida app, and 7 minutes later, deputies knocked on their door demanding ID. The sheriff's office says despite catching the pair off guard, safety is their first concern.
The tipster who submitted that tip that we received did elect to share his location through that application. That means that law enforcement had one advantage, and that was that we knew where this tipster was. So we went immediately to his home and we tried to glean more information so that we could attack this in real time.
The state launched the new Fortify Florida app earlier this month as part of the Stoneman Douglas Public Safety Act. Happening today, more than 200 teachers in Manatee County will get grants to fund new projects for their students. The Manatee Education Foundation is hosting its annual Impact Awards today, giving out more than $100,000 to almost 50 schools across the district. Teachers from all grade levels applied in September for the grants, and those who won, they'll be awarded later today. Good luck to all of the participants. New this morning, the Powerball jackpot has climbed to an estimated $750 million after no one matched all 6 numbers last night. Even though nobody hit the jackpot, the Powerball site says tickets sold in Arizona, Florida, Kentucky, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, and Wisconsin matched 5 numbers to win $1 million each. There hasn't been a Powerball winner since August 11th. The jackpot for the next drawing, that's set for Saturday, is the 4th largest ever in U.S. history, with an estimated cash payout of almost $430 million. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, we'll tell you why TV host Megyn Kelly's show could be coming to an end after her comments about people who wear blackface for Halloween. And coming up at at 6:30, we'll show you the newly released surveillance video from a gunman's rampage at a Trump National Resort in Florida. Now we're taking a live look at the city of Sarasota this morning. For more on what our forecast looks like today and your beach forecast, let's head over to meteorologist John Scalzi.
Yeah, it's going to be 85 again today, so you may want to spend some time at the beach. There will be a few more clouds around, I think, from at time to time today, but there'll also be some sunshine during some periods as well. So a few clouds, but no rainfall. That's good news until late in the day, maybe around sunset time. You might see a few scattered showers around. UV index at about 8. The red tide status, as you just heard, shows that the red tide toxins in the air, not what's in the water, but in the air, are good at most beaches currently, but winds could shift to the west over the next couple of days. We'll talk about that coming up in a few.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
Our nurse, Jennifer, all we did is pick up the phone if I was having a bad day, and the next thing we know, she was here at the door. I can't believe that I would have received any greater care anywhere. From that moment on, everything changed dramatically, and I don't know what we would have done without that.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Conquer your next adventure. Get a new Jeep at a great price during Jeep Adventure Days at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers, or get the most awarded SUV of all time, a new Jeep Cherokee, for as little as $19,999. Find the path to your next great adventure in the all-new Jeep Compass for just $17,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota today.
We get it, you're busy. But what about those moments when life slows down? It only takes a minute to get election ready. Check your voter registration status. Make sure your signature is up to date. Review your sample ballot. Know your election dates and voting options. So take a moment. Be election ready.
I'm Secretary of State Ken Detzner. Get ready, get set, vote.
Cancer doesn't run in my family. That really was the farthest thing from my mind. I've been an athlete my whole life, and I work in sports, so my mindset was just, let's fight. So our stories are all unique, so whatever you're going through, ask questions, get information, and be involved. Don't ignore the signs. Join the fight. I'm Tony Beasley, and I'm a stage 2 colorectal cancer survivor.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
66-degree air temperature currently with a dew point of 64. We'll watch that dew point value, 64, rise throughout the day today, but particularly overnight tonight. And tomorrow will be kind of a humid, sticky day. Most of the day will be spent rain-free with a daytime high temperature of about 85. As we head into the evening, though, we do start to factor in some rain chances coming in at about 20 or 30% during the overnight as we get that moisture heading our way and a warm front lifting up from the south. Right now, a few scattered showers down to the south kind of indicate where the location of that warm front is, kind of trailing through Gulf waters, wrapping up around an area of low pressure back to the west. And then a cold front extends southward from that center of low pressure where the heaviest of the rains are falling. The forecast does call for the heaviest of the rains to stay north of us, but nevertheless, we do have a chance of seeing some showers around, especially as we head into the evening hours. Right now, kind of a mix of sun and clouds in the forecast for the morning hours. We have a few clouds down to the south of us and a few to the west and to the north of us, but holes in the clouds as well that'll bring us a pretty nice start to the day, I think. Not much in the way of any kind of rainfall here locally. Low pressure area continues to drift off to the north and to the east over the next 36 hours. As it does so, it spreads its moisture, particularly along the northern Gulf waters. That will bring the first a warm front our way as we head into the evening hours. And then tomorrow evening, a cold front heads our way. So we'll continue to watch for that. The timing probably this evening, just at or slightly after drive time, a few scattered showers around with that warm front passage. And then we'll be in this warm sector during the day tomorrow when it's possible almost any time to see a light passing shower. But it's really by evening when this frontal boundary approaches that the stronger line of storms will be moving through our area. At that time, there will probably be a risk of storms, especially in North Florida and along the Carolina coastline, that could become severe, even possibly producing a few tornadoes. But the threat for us is minimal. We'll look for a partly cloudy day today, late day showers, and then rain tomorrow, especially during the evening hours, and then clearing, leaving us with some pretty nice weather as we head into the weekend. Forecast for boating, well, southwest wind at about 5 to 10, but watch. Those winds will be picking up as we head into the next day or two, and that could lead to a small craft advisory being issued for tomorrow. Breezy conditions tomorrow, and then we head into Saturday, clearing out and turning a little bit cooler with overnight lows in the 60s. Another front comes through on Monday, and Halloween looks to be beautiful, really, with daytime highs in the 80s, nighttime lows in the 60s. Halloween trick-or-treat time should be in the mid to upper 70s. So some pretty nice conditions headed in our way. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, John. In entertainment news, first we'll take a look at first alert traffic. We begin in Manatee County. We're seeing some slight delays on both sides of I-75 on State Road 64. Eastbound if you're heading to the right of I-75. As we head south into Sarasota County, no major delays to report at this hour. Some minor delays on Clark Road if you're heading westbound, and even further south into southern Sarasota County. There is one accident to report in Punta Gorda. If you're traveling I-75 southbound, beware there is an accident between exits 167 and 164. It does not appear to be causing any delays yet, but just expect that if you're headed in the area. Now on to entertainment news. Actor Jim Parsons comes out of on top at a new list from Forbes, and Lady Antebellum gets its own act in Las Vegas. ABC's Jason Nathanson has today's Showbiz Wrap.
The cast of The Big Bang Theory still getting the most bucks for their bang. The guys from the show topping Forbes' annual top-paid male TV stars list. Emmy winner Jim Parsons is #1 with $26.5 million, followed by his castmates Johnny Galecki, Kunal Nair, and Simon Helberg. NCIS star Mark Harmon rounds out the top 5. It's Lady A in LV, Lady Antebellum, the latest music act to set up shop in Las Vegas, announcing a residency that'll start next year. And the group's Hillary Scott says it's perfect for where everyone is in their lives right now.
With all of us, with our families and the, small children involved and all the moving parts, it's a really nice setup to be in one place for 8 days at a time, 3 different times over the course of next year.
The show starts in February at the Palms Casino Resort. But for fans planning to see Justin Timberlake, not such good news. His vocal cords are, quote, severely bruised. He writes on Instagram that doctors ordered him to postpone his New York City concert at Madison Square Garden Wednesday night. Meanwhile, Katy Perry might be doing some singing and celebrating today. It's her birthday. The pop superstar turns 34, while comedian and Full Frontal host Samantha Bee is 49. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Megyn Kelly apologized for her comments about blackface, but that may not be enough. Sources say Kelly could lose her NBC daytime show as discussions about ending Megyn Kelly Today are now underway. Kelly is reportedly not expected to host today's program and will probably not come back. Earlier this week, Kelly was blasted for making comments about people who wear blackface for Halloween. There's been no comment from NBC News so far, but it appears Kelly will be moved elsewhere in the company. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, we'll tell you how police near Tampa uncovered a disturbing plot by two middle school girls to kill their classmates, all inspired by watching scary movies. And coming up at 6:30, with less than 2 weeks to go until the midterm elections, we'll break down last night's Florida gubernatorial debate. That's got everyone talking today. Stay with us. We will be right back.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hut hut. It's the Gatto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gatto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gatto location near you or visit Gatto.com.
Gatto's got it.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
You want a Maserati, but you need an SUV. Why not have both? Levante, the Maserati of SUVs.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
When ABC7 declares a first alert weather day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Suncoast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a first alert weather day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A first alert weather day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights.
Welcome back. Police near Tampa have allegedly foiled a disturbing plot by two middle school girls to kill their classmates, all inspired by watching scary movies together. ABC's Victor Okendo has the story.
In this morning's GMA First Look, police say two girls, just 11 and 12 years old, brought these knives and this pizza cutter to school and were just moments away from carrying out a plot to attack and kill their middle school classmates Tuesday.
We are afraid, and she's afraid.
According to police, the girls were discovered together in a bathroom after first period, allegedly planning to overpower and stab other students who came inside. According to investigators, the plan was hatched while watching scary movies during a sleepover. Police also say their investigation revealed disturbing communication between the girls, childlike drawings of the school, and this handwritten note that reads, "Go to kill in bathroom." Overnight, police crediting fellow students for reporting rumors about a possible school attack. And we'll hear from the Bartow police chief with new details on the suspects coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Victor Okendo, ABC News, Bartow, Florida.
With uncontrolled moderate to severe eczema or atopic dermatitis, you never know how your skin will look. And it can feel like no matter what you do, you're itching all the time. But even though you see and feel your eczema on the surface of your skin, an overly sensitive immune system deep within your skin might actually be causing your eczema. So help heal your skin from within with Dupixent. Dupixent is not a steroid, and it continuously treats your eczema even when you can't see it. At 16 weeks, more than 1 in 3 patients saw clear or almost clear skin, and patients saw a significant reduction in itch. Do not use if you are allergic to Dupixent. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems, including eye pain or changes in vision. If you have asthma and are taking asthma medicines, do not change or stop your asthma medicine without talking to your doctor. Help heal your skin from within. Ask your eczema specialist about Dupixent.
Enjoy fine wine and great foods, all while supporting a great cause. It's the 17th annual Suncoast Food and Wine Fest, happening Saturday, November 10th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Premier Sports Campus in Lakewood Ranch. Taste hundreds of wines from around the world and sample great food from the area's finest restaurants. All proceeds go to local charities and Rotary projects. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos. To use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
Hunger is a growing problem in our area, and a huge number of Suncoast residents are suffering in silence.
It could be your coworker,
your child's classmate,
or your friend fighting to secure their next meal. But you can help.
ABC7 is partnering with local organizations to help feed the Suncoast.
Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger to join the fight. Help us.
Help the hungry.
It's rainy season on the Suncoast. Storms can pop up at a moment's notice. Sometimes it's just rain. Sometimes it's much worse. When there's the potential for severe weather, you need to know fast. Trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather to get you the information you need right away. We focus on the storms that impact where you live, and we're committed to alerting you with important information as soon as we get it. When severe weather strikes, trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education? What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
ABC 7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6:30.
In the state of Florida, we got a lot of issues. In fact, we got 99 issues, and Hamilton ain't one of them.
Coming up less than 2 weeks away from the midterm elections, we'll break down last night's Florida gubernatorial debate that's got everyone talking. Plus, we'll show you the newly released surveillance video from a gunman's rampage at a Trump National Resort in Florida. And we'll tell you why Moat Marine Lab is one step closer to building a new aquarium at Nathan Benderson Park. Those stories plus your first alert forecast coming up this half hour on Good Morning Suncoast. Welcome back. I'm Jess Dowdrick. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're going to head right over to meteorologist John Scalzi, who has a look at your forecast for this Thursday morning.
Yeah, so if you're just joining us, I'll assure you that today is not going to be a terribly bad day. It'll be similar to yesterday. Daytime highs topping out around 85. We'll have a kind of a mix of sun and clouds. We do have a developing low pressure area back to the west, and some of the cloud cover will be sent in our direction. But until it gets here, we have kind of holes in the clouds that'll allow for the sun to poke through from time to time. And so for the most part, I think it should be a pretty decent day. Now, later in the afternoon, we do have a chance at a front lifting north that will provide us with some shower possibilities as we head into the evening hours. But until then, not so much. Another front approaches tomorrow. That promises a better chance of rain. We'll talk about that coming up in a few.
All right. Thank you, John. We're taking a live look now at US 301 near Fruitville Road and Main Street, where there was a pipe failure. The road was blocked off there yesterday, but this morning it appears to be back open. FDOT says there was originally a depression in the road and a drainage pipe underneath of the surface had burst. They were supposed to be working on this through Monday, but it appears that things are now back to normal. There's no word at this point if crews will be back out later today for any future repairs. We do have a call in to FDOT, and we'll let you know as soon as we find out. Taking a look at our first alert traffic maps now this morning, there is some delays on US 301 as you're heading northbound, crossing over State Road 70. Also some usual delays on State Road 70 in both directions between US 301 and US 41. As we head into Sarasota County, some minor delays southbound on US 301 as you head toward Fruitville Road, and some minor delays as well on Clark Road if you're heading westbound toward US 41. And even further south into southern Sarasota County, there was an accident in Punta Gorda on I-75 a little while ago. That does appear to be cleared up. That's your traffic report at 6:32 on your Thursday morning. Developing overnight, with just weeks before Floridians go to the polls, both men running to be the state's next governor squared off in their second debate last night. ABC 7's Marla Spence joins us live in the newsroom with some of those highlights. Marla.
Hey Jess, it was a heated and intense debate between the two gubernatorial candidates, Ron DeSantis and Andrew Gilliam. Now this is the debate from last night. The moderator skipped introductory statements and immediately asked the candidates whether politics has crossed the line from divisive to reckless after pipe bombs and suspicious packages were sent to the Clintons, the Obamas, and the offices of U.S. Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz. DeSantis then spoke about his attendance to the congressional baseball practice last year when a gunman shot U.S. Representative Steve Scalise because he did not like Republicans. And DeSantis then began ripping Gillum for supporting a Miami-based social justice group. Gillum then fired back, calling DeSantis a liar and evoking a series of racist robocalls by an out-of-state extremist website that went out to voters shortly after the August primary election and again this week. Now, another highlight, DeSantis defended himself over attending a David Horowitz Freedom Center conference for several years, a conservative writer who said in the past that real race war in America is against white people and that African Americans should be grateful to white people for freeing slaves and ending the slave trade. Gillum then defended himself over receiving tickets to the Broadway Hamilton from a group that included undercover FBI agents.
I mean, how the hell am I supposed to know every single statement somebody makes? Here's the deal. Let me just say this straight up. You know, I've lived my life, whether it's athletics, whether it's military, whether it's serving as a prosecutor. You know, when I was downrange in Iraq, we worked together as a team, regardless of race.
Let me tell you, I'm running for governor. In the state of Florida, we got a lot of issues. In fact, we got 99 issues, and Hamilton ain't one of them.
Now, last night's debate was the two candidates' final meeting before the November 6th election. Jess?
Thank you so much, Marla. Just a reminder, early voting is now underway in both Manatee and Sarasota counties. For a full list of the polling locations, you can find those on our website, mysuncoast.com. Caught on camera, newly released surveillance video shows what happened during a gunman's rampage at a Trump National Resort in South Florida back in May. CNN's Andrew Scheinthal has the story.
What was a quiet night at Trump National Doral back in May broke into pandemonium when a former porn actor rushed the lobby gun in hand. The video from surveillance cameras inside the resort shows 42-year-old Jonathan Odie draping a massive American flag over the desk that he stole from somewhere else on the property. Then he grabs a metal object and slams it into computer monitors where guests check in. It's shortly after Miami-Dade police arrive, their lights seen flashing through the window. That's when gunfire breaks out between police and the 42-year-old, both shooting at each other. Odie appears to put his hands up at one point, but then he grabs the gun and opens fire.
He was there. Where's downstairs?
The body cam footage officers were wearing at the time shows their quick response. Once they run in, they're met with debris on the floor from the items Odie either threw to the ground or shot at. And that's when Odie runs for it. He turns the corner, continues to shoot, slips and falls, gets back up, and keeps running. He then heads up the stairs and runs out of view. At this point, there's an officer directly behind him. After throwing some furniture around on the second floor, Odie lays on the ground, hands behind his back, and he's placed in cuffs. Shortly after, officers swarmed the resort, running up the stairs, guns drawn, and going after the man who caused midnight chaos at the President's South Florida resort.
That was Andrew Scheinthal reporting. Odie remains behind bars as he awaits trial and is due in court for a status hearing later today. Mote Marine Lab is one step closer to building a new aquarium at Nathan Benderson Park. Sarasota County Commissioners unanimously approving an agreement to lease county-owned land to Mote Marine and eventually turning over ownership of it to the lab. Once all land use approvals are complete and Mote Marine has raised the money to build it, construction on the new aquarium will begin between the rowing facility and the mall at UTC. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, flu season is in full swing across the state. We'll tell you why the FDA is hoping a brand new flu drug will cut down on cases this year. And we'll take a closer look at why Americans are now asking whether the political discourse in this country has become too heated. First, let's take a live look outside at our sky cam, a beautiful view of the Bay waters this morning. For more on what you should expect for your drive time forecast today, let's head over to meteorologist John Scalzi.
Yeah, a lot what you're seeing right now is what we'll see for the morning hours. That's why I haven't checked any of the inclement weather boxes on the drive time forecast. Don't think we're going to see much in the way of inclement weather today until we get into the evening hours. Drive home, possibly a passing shower, but I tell you what, I don't think it's going to be a big deal, so that's why the boxes remain unchecked. All of the airport hubs serving Sarasota Bradenton International running on time according to the FAA. We'll talk about the big weather changes coming over the next several days in just a minute.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe and call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Outback is an IIHS top safety pick for 10 years running. Lease a new Subaru Outback today for just $249 a month, or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
My grandpa was always telling me about it.
But the civil rights thing happened like a million years ago.
Still, he thought it was important that I know what it was like.
So we followed the civil rights trail to Alabama. We saw Dr. King's church,
The bridge in Selma, the church in Birmingham, and I finally knew what he was talking about.
Some things you just have to experience for yourself.
Start your civil rights journey at alabama.travel.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans, because love has no labels.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
66-degree air temperature with a dew point of 64. Pretty representative of most places across the region. Cooper, our weather watcher in central Sarasota, picks up 67 degrees. Al in Northport, 67 as well. Scott at Pinecrest comes in a little cooler at 65. Jeff in Laurel Park coming in at 68. And the coldest always Becky in Old Mayaca. Becky in Old Mayaca coming in at 58 degrees there. So kind of a chilly start for her. We're looking at temperatures that, generally speaking, will be up near the 85-degree mark today. I don't see much in the way of a rainfall chance through most of the day, but a front will be approaching us later in the afternoon and evening, which will bring in a rain chance of about 20 to 30% as we head into the late evening and into the overnight, actually. Then we stay in the kind of warm, muggy air through tomorrow with a chance of rainfall almost any time during the day, but particularly as another front approaches tomorrow evening and night. Quiet right now on radar across the region. Not seeing much in the way of rainfall. That's not true back to the west, where there's lots of showery activity associated with a low moving across northern Gulf waters. That low will move across North Florida and Georgia and exit off the Carolina coast, where it will produce a nor'easter most likely. That low pressure area will also produce some fairly heavy rainfall across the northern Gulf Coast. So I think most of that rain stays away from us. We'll get some rainfall, but it's really not going to be all that much. Total amounts not that great. A mix of sun and clouds. You can see a few of the clouds hanging around here, but not much. Low-hanging clouds for the most part. And rainfall at a minimum across the region through the morning hours. The low moves off to the northeast as I mentioned, the first thing that comes through our area will be a warm front this evening. That'll produce a few scattered showers. Then we stay in this warm, muggy sector between the warm front and the cold front tomorrow. And so during the time of maximum heating, there's the potential for some stronger storms with that low across North Florida, not so much for us. And then the cold front comes through tomorrow evening. That'll be kind of the last gasp of this storm system, producing a line of showers that moves through and then changing our weather with some clearing thereafter. So partly cloudy today, late showers possible this evening, and then rain tomorrow, kind of off and on, more off than on. And then later in the evening, a line of showers moves through, followed by some clearing that takes place overnight through tomorrow morning. The Futurecast shows that frontal boundary lifts northward as a warm front this evening with this line of showers that moves through. We stay in the warm, muggy sector on Friday with scattered showers possible almost any time. And then the cold front moves through on Friday evening. That brings a chance at some showers with most of the heaviest stuff located well to the north. And then changes. We'll watch for the winds. Pretty quiet today, southwest at about 5 to 10. Pick up tomorrow. We'll probably have a small craft advisory for tomorrow with a 50% chance of showers. And then over the weekend, a temperature near 80 with only an early Saturday shower, then much clearing. Sunday looks beautiful. Halloween looks just fine as the second front lowers our temperatures even a little bit more. Back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, John. Taking a look now at first alert traffic. We begin in Manatee County. Nothing major to report. Your usual delays over the bridges if you're going from the city of Bradenton into Palmetto. Other than that, things are running smoothly. We head south into Sarasota County. Some delays on Fruitville Road if you're heading eastbound just before and after I-75. And if we head even further south into southern Sarasota County, what once was an accident on I-75 has since been cleared up in Punta Gorda. It is 6:45 on your Thursday morning. In HealthSmart, President Trump is moving forward with a major anti-drug bill. The bill includes Congressman Vern Buchanan's proposal to help reduce opioid addiction. The measure will create a national database that patients can access to help them manage their pain without becoming addicted. The opioid package also includes the STOP Act, which will block shipments of deadly synthetic drugs from coming into the U.S. And the FDA has approved a brand new flu drug. Xofluza can be used on patients 12 and older who have been showing symptoms for no more than 48 hours. It's been nearly 20 years since the FDA last approved a flu drug. Officials stress that while this additional treatment option is important, it's not a replacement for your yearly vaccine. Right now, no matter who's found responsible for the attempted bomb attacks against prominent Democrats, many Americans are now asking whether the political discourse in this country has become too heated. ABC's Janae Norman explains why you don't have to look far to find examples of violent rhetoric in today's politics.
Former CIA Director John Brennan speaking last night, calling for unity after one of the bombs was addressed to him.
If I and others are being targeted because we're speaking out and we're living up to our responsibilities as citizens, I think that, again, is a very unfortunate turn of events.
Investigators are still trying to determine who sent explosive devices to high-profile Democrats, but experts say it's likely a product of the political climate.
It seems as though the past couple of weeks, the president has really appealed to his base, called himself a nationalist, really gone very hard to the right.
This morning, lawmakers are moving quickly to denounce the series of attempted bomb attacks.
That is an act of terrorism. There is no place for that in our democracy.
Representative Steve Scalise was nearly killed last year when a gunman opened fire at a congressional baseball practice.
This isn't the way that we should expect America to be turning. I mean, you're seeing more and more of this, and clearly you're seeing it on both sides.
In recent weeks, with the midterms approaching, the vitriol and even violence on the campaign trail has been building. In Pennsylvania, a candidate for governor had this message for his opponent.
You better put a catcher's mask on your face, because I'm going to stomp all over your face with golf spikes.
Conservative talk show host Rush Limbaugh suggesting Wednesday that a Democratic operative is behind the bombs.
If a Democrat operative's purpose here is to make it look like, hey, there are mobs everywhere. The mobs are not just Democrat mobs.
Janae Norman, ABC News, New York.
More than 7,000 migrants keep pushing north toward the U.S., hoping for a better future. They're fighting fatigue during the day and sleeping on the ground at night. Right now, the caravan is still over 1,000 miles away from the border, but things could get even more difficult for the group as they get closer. President Trump has made it clear he plans to make it tough for the migrants to cross into the country.
More than 7,000 migrants keep pushing north toward the U.S., fighting fatigue during the day, sleeping on the ground at night. They say they hope for a better future.
As U.S. officials engage in talks with Mexico about how to handle the upcoming situation, a second caravan made up of about 2,000 people is also trekking toward the U.S. We'll be right back with your top 7 before 7, but first we're taking a live look at Capitol Hill, where it's a chilly 45 degrees there this morning and partly cloudy skies. We'll see you in a few.
Your last chance for 2018 Honda Accords on sale is now during our model year-end sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American car of the year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda Sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for Accords, all on sale this week at your local Honda dealer.
Hurricane season is here, and so is the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC 7. This essential resource arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit, shelter locations, what to do with pets, and important phone numbers. Visit mysuncoast.com and download the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC 7. Brought to you by Batteries Plus, the Florida Lottery, and Sarasota Glass and Mirror.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Ghetto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Ghetto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Ghetto location near you or visit Ghetto.com.
Ghetto's got it.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Thank you.
What are you doing? You are the best protection she has. Buddy up. I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit HelpSaveTheNextGirl.com and get involved.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
Selfless service is the guiding principle of every Army National Guard soldier. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. To be an Army National Guard soldier is to serve something greater than yourself. Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Welcome back. It's time for your top 7 before 7 o'clock. First up, as always, it's your final look at the forecast with meteorologist John Schulte.
Looks pretty good for us today. I think we have 3 things on the board for your consideration. 1, today, a few late day showers. Most of the day, no problems at all. Mix of sun and clouds, but a few late day showers. Humid tomorrow as a warm front lifts north, and thunderstorms tomorrow evening, followed by weekend clearing. Back to you.
Thank you, John. Number 2, taking a look at your first alert traffic. Begin in Manatee County. No major issues to report, just some usual delays on US 301 as you head northbound toward State Road 70. Not too much congestion over the bridges at this point in time. Number 3, authorities are calling a series of suspicious pipe bomb packages an act of terror. Several explosive devices were intercepted by law enforcement after they were sent to political figures, including former Presidents Bill Clinton and Barack Obama, as well as offices at CNN. The search is now on for answers and a suspect. Number 4, in Tampa, police say 2 middle school girls brought knives on campus and planned on killing their classmates and drinking their blood before committing suicide. Those girls were just 11 and 12 years old. Authorities say they were moments away from executing their plan when it came to a teacher's attention. Number 5, Florida's gubernatorial candidates went head-to-head in their second debate last night. Ron DeSantis defended himself over attending a David Horowitz Freedom Center conference for the last several years. Meanwhile, Andrew Gillum defended himself over receiving a ticket to the Broadway show Hamilton from a group that included an undercover FBI agent. The general election is now less than 2 weeks away. Number 6, Moat Marine Lab is getting closer to building a new aquarium at Nathan Benderson Park. Sarasota County commissioners unanimously approving an agreement to lease county-owned land to Moat Marine, with construction to begin with the rowing facility, in between the rowing facility and the mall sometime soon. Finally, number 7, what's trending? It wasn't at all how they had pictured their October wedding, but one Florida couple made it work. Mexico Beach firefighter Brian Hughes and Panama City Police Detective Corey Clark got married on Sunday, almost 2 weeks after their original wedding was pushed back due to Hurricane Michael. Hughes says he hopes they can recite their vows once again on their first anniversary for the family and friends who weren't able to be there to see it the first time. I'm sure they've been really busy for the last 2 weeks, which is probably why they had to postpone it.
Sure, yeah. Well, it's a nice little touch, though, that they were able to actually make it happen. So good for them.
Congrats to them, yeah. Thank you again for joining us. Stick around. Good Morning America is coming up next. Have a wonderful day.